Welcome to the podcast, the Liberated Individuals podcast. I am your host, Steve Too Much. What's good, people? What's good? It's another day in the books, man. Wrapping up my day. Pretty cool day. Didn't do a whole lot. Got out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Ran a couple errands, made a couple stops. You know what I'm saying? Did a little bit of cleaning around the house. Well, a little bit of cleaning up. Still got some more to do, you know what I'm saying? Can't do it. Can't always do it all, you know what I'm saying? Don't always do it all in one day. But yeah, most definitely, a positive day today. I'm doing a podcast, so you know it's good. You know what I'm saying? Just still dealing with this COVID-19, social distancing, quarantine, whatever state status you in. You know what I'm saying? They locking down up here in Atlanta area. Atlanta City specifically. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms put a foot down. I say, you know what I'm saying? Basically saying you need to have on a mask everywhere you at, and that could be a big move. Hopefully it's a positive move, and you know what I mean is hopefully we'll see some results from that. As far as declining cases with this COVID, you know, Georgia one of the maybe top 10 as far as the cases recently here with the spike and whatnot, and you know we out here partying and getting out. So I mean it makes sense, you know, as folks opening up, getting out. More cases are going to come about. I do know people that have been diagnosed and have know somebody who has been diagnosed and, you know, went their 14 days and tested negative afterwards. So it's definitely real as far as, you know, people are being diagnosed with COVID, and, you know, it's not just people you don't know. You know, like I say, I know people that have been, you know, said have been diagnosed positive. So keep your eyes open, you know what I'm saying? Just stay alert, you know what I'm saying? Keep your mask on when you think you should. I definitely been, you know, a little bit more conscious of the mask last few days or so. I guess maybe last day or two. I guess maybe since I heard the news about the mandatory mask or whatever in the Atlanta city. But yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see how this transitions once all of this is over, to see if, you know, social distancing is a thing of the future. You know, is dining, if I'm dining out, I want to be on the patio. Is that a thing of the future? You know what I'm saying? 6 feet between people at the booth. Is, you know, meal delivery about to be more so the way people are consuming, you know, dining out. I think in Georgia, or at least somewhere, I heard that it is now basically, you know, alcohol can be delivered. I'm pretty sure there's a limit on how much they can deliver. And I guess I'm assuming that's like on a retail scale. I mean, excuse me, just on a consumer level, not on a commercial level. So yeah, a lot of changes have been, you know, taking place just here in 2020 with just COVID-19 and people adapting business wise with that. And so it's going to be interesting to see, just once all of this blow over, once it's all kind of said and done, once it's kind of on a normal level, we back to normal, whatever normal is, you know what I mean? We just be interesting to see what we still doing differently, what we go back to revert back to. Seeing part of the news, what was that yesterday? You know, they talking about the state of schools and the status of schools opening back up in the fall. I don't think it's a good idea, just simply because, you know, you got kids involved, there's numbers of them. Just, you know, maybe not the best hygiene as far as not how the parents taking care of them, but just more so like, you know, wiping your nose with your hand and then going and wash your hands versus wiping on your shirt and some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We all done been kids before, man. We know how it go, how it could be. And so that just, you know, the idea of folks going back to school and then thinking about, you know, it'll be like that's flu season, you know, going back to school, like what, September, October, November, somewhere around there is flu season. So I would imagine just, you know, with it being flu season, it's a potential that the virus will spike again. And then, you know, by putting kids back to school, putting teachers back at work, just putting people around more people that they not necessarily responsible for on a 24-hour basis, like a mother or a father would for their child. And it's just, not to say that the teachers or anybody would neglect it, but it's just the teachers can only do so much. Like, you know what I mean? The principals, they can only do so much when you got a classroom full of kids. And who's to say, you know, how big the class is going to be now, how much space got to be between the kids. It's just all kind of stuff that could just, I don't know. If they can find a way to do it efficiently, you know, kudos. Who knows? I don't have kids to be that concerned about it. I do have nieces and, you know, nephews and stuff like that. So, you know, it does affect me indirectly, but I myself don't have kids. So I'm not majorly concerned with it. I don't know how many of y'all would be majorly concerned with it, but I do realize some people have kids. So, you know what I mean? Well, people that's listening, I mean, have kids. So yeah, they talking about the schools and whether or not they gonna open stuff back up. You know, of course, you got a body of people that want to hear this and a body of people that want to hear that. I don't know how you feel about it. I don't really have a feeling per se about it. I do think it is like, well, I guess I do think it is not necessarily the best idea to open schools back up in August, maybe January or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know. I did entertain, thought about the idea of maybe transitioning to year-round school where they go to school for a few months at a time and take a few weeks off, go for a few months at a time, take a few weeks off, go for a few months at a time, take a few weeks off. I don't really know how that would necessarily, I think I was more so thinking about just the time the kids were missing in school, they could transition to a year-round school to kind of maybe, I don't know, but I mean, offset it basically. But as far as, you know, the coronavirus, I don't really, yeah, we're gonna have to think about that one, guys. There's a lot of folks going back to school to be, you know, during the pandemic crisis, but who knows? Neither here nor there. But yeah, life after COVID, we gonna see, man. We gonna see. Like I say, it's my opinion. If we are blessed, if you know, blessed to make it on the other side of this, then you know it's an upside. Business, like I said, some people been seeing, you know, growth, and some people been crashing, businesses shutting down. You see big businesses, corporations can't last a month or however long without, you know, positive returns, and it's a lot going on. It depends on who you ask. A lot of grants and loans and stuff are being talked about as far as for small businesses and stuff. There's a lot of discrepancy about, you know, the type of companies that those loans and that aid and that support is going to. You know, definitely if you black business, small business, anything of the sort, I would encourage you to do some research and see what grants and loans are available. You know, at least apply. You know, whether you get it or not, you know, at least apply. It's something else that could, you know, help contribute to your business, help contribute to your employees. One I think in particular is based on the number of employees you have. So, you know, the more employees you have, the more money you would get or basically, you know, you get a certain amount per employee. So definitely, I think I gotta look at the, I'm not even gonna try to say what I thought the website was. I did hear, I was listening to Breakfast Club something, and Charlamagne did mention a, I think it was either a grant or a loan for small businesses, that and he shouted out the website and said there are funds still available. So definitely go check that out. Just do your research. Just do your Googles, man. It's 2020. You can Google all that stuff. And I'm not sitting here saying like I Google everything that you know, there's plenty of stuff I sit and think and wonder about that I could just figure out the answer if I just typed it in Google and just, you know, took time to do it. It's just a matter of doing it like anything else. But speaking of further into the business, the business climate or the business in today's climate. Shout out to Urban Eating. They've been on the podcast. Definitely a you know, whenever they whenever they want to show up or sit down with me, they always welcome alumni, guests of the podcast. But shout out to Urban Eating. If anybody is familiar, aware, or heard about them or anything of the nature, whether it be via the podcast or just in general, you might have seen they got a promo video on YouTube that I've been seeing lately. And they've been killing it, doing numbers. They actually increased their numbers during the coronavirus. Let me actually go pull up these numbers that they posted online. on Instagram this week, and just like it's just awesome, man, to see people and where they started at and where they are now, and just the growth, and just be able to not be a part of it in a sense, because I don't work for them or anything like that, but just to experience it, be exposed to it at such a intimate level, as far as these are people that I know, I call friends, or associates, whatever you want to consider a relationship. But in January 2020, I'm assuming this is their orders per month. January 2020, 876. February 2020, 996. March 2020, 1,572. April 2020, 2,729. May 2020, 5,249. June 2020, 8,251. July 2020, and we only in the month by this is the 7th, 8th, 9th, somewhere up in there. We only about a third into the month, maybe the fourth third into the month, and they already at 1,200, 1,300 orders as of whenever this post came. So from, I would say, a small spike between January, compared to the bigger spike anyway, January to March, from 876 and 996 in February, and 1,572 in March, and then you jump to 27, 29 in April, and then all the way up to almost 2,500 jump from 27 to 52 in May, and then 82. That's a 3,000 order. These are order numbers. So this is the number of orders. So imagine the capacity, or these, like I said, these are just the order numbers. There's no dollar signs attached to this part, these numbers anyway. But you could just imagine the average order value. They got good products, and I'm just you could imagine just the type of success that they're seeing, and I'm just happy for them, proud of them, man. And I again applaud them for documenting their process, man, because this type of seeing this type of stuff, if you man, that's just it's inspiring, definitely motivating, maybe even enlightening, just to kind of see that those numbers are possible. That a small business can do those numbers if they got the proper resources and put forth the proper effort and got the right people in the right places. That's a lot of what, and then adaptation, I think, is another big key. Is one thing I learned working at Slutty Vegan. Another big brand, small business, started out as probably that is a bigger business now. Still may be considered a small business, I'm not sure. No technical difficulty, but yeah. Slutty Vegan, another brand I've worked for, black-owned business here in the Atlanta area. If you're not familiar with them, it's a vegan burger joint. They recently, the owner, Pinky Cole, she or the brand made a donation to the family of the victims, to the family of the victim, Rayshard Brooks, who was murdered by APD here in Atlanta. And as a response, I get a backlash or whatever for making those donations. She started getting a series of negative reviews, 1-star reviews on her brand, basically folks sabotaging the brand because she had promoted, or because she had supported the the family of the victim, Rayshard Brooks. And it was just hate, just some hate. But in response to that, she did receive some support from celebrities such as Chris Paul, Gabrielle Union Wade. The other names I'm not sure right now, but there were some other people that contributed, supported, basically sponsored that. So that was cool to to just, if you haven't had Slutty Vegan before, if you're a fan of it, there was an opportunity to get a free burger. I think that was dope. That's cool for her, Pinky, the brand, the staff, Slutty Vegan ATL. That was dope from those that contributed, supported, sponsored, and reached out. We got to have more of that as a community, black community. We definitely got to stick together and help each other out. Small businesses got to stick together, help each other out. And it's just a lot of support and sponsorship that we could do across the board that would just contribute to, a better society. I think, my mindset is it starts from within, it starts with your community, the people you know, the people you come in contact with every day. And you just spread out from there. Eventually, we all gonna, meet up. And that's the story, that again, with liberated individuals, we all lone wolves. We all got to take care of our own. We all got to go feed, got to worry about feeding our household, feeding ourselves, clothing our household, making sure, we got all of the essentials or whatnot. But then at the end of the day, we also got to have a sense of community outside of our household. A sense of community is one, as, ultimately, hopefully as humans, but, before we get to such a broad classification, there are other communities that are, maybe more important to, I won't say more important, because the human race is always the most important, but to the extent of just more impactful, I guess, in your life, if you were to, be more, into a certain community, a smaller knit community, so to speak, where there is just, the people in your neighborhood, making sure you right with them people, you know what I'm saying? The people you got to go to school with every day, the people you got to show up and go to work with every day, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, your friends and family, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And then you could say, the black community, or, the black and brown community, or, the Atlanta community, or whatever the community may be. I think it starts, with self, working your way out to those people that you come in contact with on a regular basis, and just being consistent, spreading your message, and just keeping, the bigger picture in mind, which is we all want to have some peace, y'all. We all want to have some peace. At the end of the day, we want some respect and we want some peace. And we want acknowledgement for what we need acknowledgement for. The black community definitely, I think, will identify with what I mean there. But yeah, like, yeah. What we got? Music and film. I ain't really caught up on too much music here lately. I don't know much. Like I said, I mean, you got T.I. and 50 Cent going back and forth about a versus battle. I think that'll be dope. That'll be a good look. Both of them got, nice big catalog. I'm pulling for T.I. for, just simple fact that I listen to more T.I. probably. And, being somebody that's native now to the Atlanta area. Yeah, man, King yourself, I rock with it. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully we can see, hopefully that's something we do get to see. But we'll be looking forward to that. Want to just not throw it out there, but just do want to mention that I did see that Naya Rivera is now missing and presumed dead, because she and her son was out, on a boat, and they found the son asleep, and the mother, and she was not there, and the son said something that mommy got in the water and never came back. So, sad story. Definitely, just, it's a sad story. I don't really do much press on sad stuff like that. But I did see that today, and I did want to mention that. But yeah, that is also something that's going on right now. I don't really have a lot. Like I said, I didn't really listen. I didn't really, music-wise, I didn't really come across too much new music. I don't really have the energy right now to go through and look and see what's out. That wasn't out last week or last podcast I did. But I guess it's Thursday night, so some stuff gonna be dropping tomorrow. Be interesting to see. I can, y'all, by the time we do another podcast, I should have some update on music. Film, not a lot of update there either. Just be on the lookout, I guess, for some stuff coming out towards the end of the year, of course. Not a lot. I'm pretty sure you more so gonna see stuff coming out towards the end of the year. For today's meat and potatoes. For the meat and potatoes, just being in tune with self, loving self first. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be like Katt Williams say. You gotta be in tune with your star player. If you ain't right, then it ain't really much you can do, or it's not. You're not at your best to help anybody else, no matter how you look at it. Now don't get me wrong, you gotta do what you gotta do, you gotta do what you gotta do. However, as far as a mindset and intent, you know, for me, like I'm an overthinker, you know what I'm saying? I dwell on things, I hold on to things. It's not something that I'm super proud about, but it's something I am able to, I'm self-aware enough to look myself in the mirror and say, okay, I gotta work on that. You know what I mean? So, and I just, you know, I do realize that, you know, I gotta make sure that, you know, my headspace is clear. I gotta make sure that my you know, just make sure my energy is right so that I can be a resource to people more so than a burden. You know what I mean? I want to be a beacon. You know what I mean? A light. You know, for you to come to me for whether it be information, you come to me for a positive vibe, you come to me for insight, you come to me for some motivation, you come to me for some support, whatever. I want it to be something positive. And it's hard to be a beacon or a light, you know, a resource for people to come to for support or for help or for enlightenment or for just whatever, you know what I mean? And you're not all the way right yourself, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, not to use a cliche example, but kind of like the pastor, you know, the idea of congregation of members going to the pastor for help, and the pastor ain't really the person who you think he is. Or if you, you know, you go to the teacher and the teacher is not who you think he is, or whoever the role model person may be at the time. Now that we are old, now that I'm older, I realize that role models can come in different shape, forms, and fashion. And so, you know, it just, you never know. I would rather be a role model than a person that's a bad example. So if that's something that I'm aware of, you know what I mean, I gotta make sure that I'm bettering myself, I'm growing, I'm evolving, and just creating a good example for somebody, you know what I mean? Whether it be for the people, like, again, you never know who watching, you know what I mean? You never know who watching. I think I mentioned that last time on the podcast, but you just want to be, you know, just want to be self-aware, man. You just gotta be in tune with that star player, man. But didn't want to be on here all night. Like I said, had some technical difficulties for the night that didn't let me quite produce how I wanted to. But we got another podcast done, as well as another YouTube video done. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Definitely check out the podcast on Apple or Spotify, wherever you, you know, it may be available anywhere else you may listen to your podcast. And again, of course, YouTube viewership on YouTube. This will be the second podcast episode on YouTube. So I'm excited about that. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to growth and evolution of small businesses, black businesses, man. We got to keep going. Do what you can to support when you can. You know what I'm saying? For everybody that's been listening, paying attention, watching, everybody been supporting, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. Y'all stay in y'all lane. Y'all stay out the way. Stay liberated. One.